What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with another movie review slash movie recommendation slash holiday classic. Today we're going to go back to 1984 to take a look at a film directed by Charles Sellier Jr. We've got Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yes, the killer Santa Claus movie. Before there was, a fucking 1,000 killer Santa Claus films. Like recently I got mixed up with a couple of new streaming services. That way I can watch True Detective and Sopranos, which I plan on making separate videos on. I just finished season 1 of True Detective, so there may or may not be a video about that, maybe included in a channel update. But nonetheless, there's no shortage of like Santa Slay, Santa Kills, Killer Santa, all this bullshit. So I really wanted to go back and watch one that's, of an era of film that I love. I didn't see this movie until much later into my cinematic education. So, but like again, I had seen the poster. Like the poster is so iconic, and when I finally watched it, I was so impressed with the film that I tracked down some of the sequels, and to me, the sequels don't really hold up at all. But that first movie, it's all about this kid who, when he's a kid, he goes to this nut house to see his grandpa, who's out to lunch, unfortunately. But the grandpa ends up like kind of coming out, breaks his silence, and scares the shit out of little Billy. He's like, Santa Claus, he kills fuckers that misbehave and all this stuff. And on their way home from this, lovely visit to old grandpapa, they see a car broke down on the street with a Santa Claus hitchhiking, who we know just recently robbed a fucking store, killed a guy for like $30. And now he's, doing the old-fashioned hitchhiking gig. Obviously, they stop the car. He's probably coming home from a Christmas party. Like the dad. It's like, no. Next couple of minutes are very fucking hard to watch if you're a pansy. But I will say right now, Santa Claus being such a, would-be trustworthy individual, all that goes out the window for this little kid who was just warned by his grandpa that this is going to happen. And then boom, it happens. He gets sent to a home with his little brother where it's run by a total Nurse Ratched type broad who's just a total cunt to the kids, abusive, all that stuff. And it's there he stays till he's like 18 years old. At one point during his stay, they make his ass sit on a Santa Claus. Like he's got all this, PTSD and just who the fuck knows what else going on. He's deathly afraid of Santa Claus. His family was killed in front of him by a Santa Claus lookalike. So you'd think that those nuns would know better by not putting him on Santa Claus's lap. But of course they do that. He freaks the fuck out, decks Santa, the whole nine. And then we don't really see him until he's much grown up. And, he's a strapping young lad, and they want to get him out in the open. He's 18 now, so he gets a job down at this toy store. One thing that's interesting to point out about this toy store, there's so much, what do you call it? Like, IP stuff. Like, there's, like, G.I. Joe shit. There's He-Man. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, they're not shying away from, who knows? Like, they filmed in a toy store. Maybe they didn't ask permission. Whatever. I like seeing all of the actual, like, name brand toys. It's not just, like, a fucking wooden car or some bullshit that nobody wants, unless it was, like, way back in the day. So, he's working at this toy shop, and eventually he gets asked the almighty question, can you be Santa Claus? Which becomes Santa Claus and takes on what he thinks Santa Claus is supposed to be, a murderer, basically. So he goes on his little spree through the store. A lot of cool kills in the toy store. Bow and arrow kill. I think a guy or a chick gets like a hook in the eye. There's like a buddy that works with him that's sort of like this horn dog type. But he gets out of the toy store. He kills a few other people. He kills a chick on a pool table, I believe. I watched this like extremely out of my fucking mind the other night. Like, so at one point, one of my favorite moments, because I can like relate to this, like kids going out and like tobogganing and stuff like that, and the one kid gets his head cut off on the toboggan. It's a total Jack from The Shining around the corner with an axe hitting Scatman Crothers, if you know what I'm talking about. But I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I was fucking around on my YouTube channel, and I was like trying to think of like movies that I haven't made videos about that I love, and I typed in Silent Night, Deadly Night. I never made a video about it, so here we go. Again, there is sequels. You may like them, you may not. For me, I'm fine with part 1. I've come to terms with myself and my movie collection and my movie enjoyment. Like, I don't need to own every Halloween film, okay? I don't need to own every Friday the 13th. I do own them, but like I toyed with like getting rid of some of those like Halloween 4 and fucking 5 and 6. Like I plan on never watching them again. I might watch the one that has Busta Rhymes in it, only because I have a soft spot for that movie. It's more of a found footagey kind of thing, which I like, and I love that scene where Busta Rhymes is clearly stoned watching a kung fu flick. That scene, for some reason, has always stuck in my head. But anyway, shout out to Busta Rhymes. I do have a few other Christmas horror films that I want to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this year, but obviously there's Black Christmas, and there's a few. I'm trying to think of some of those other ones. There's some better of the shitty ones that came out in the last, say, 20 years, but, you know, I wouldn't hold your breath. So, again, I appreciate everybody for watching and staying tuned. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments. There's some new subscribers coming through. I appreciate everybody. I've been asked, what's with the 666 thing? Is it a religious thing? No, it's not. I'm not a Satan worshiper or anything like that. It's just a funny way to get people to engage. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, drop a 1 in the chat if you agree. I say, drop a 666 in the chat. All right? So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and adios.